Good morning, Summer. Good morning, Safi. Good morning, Amy E. Amy E, can I just congratulate you on your comedy gold last lesson? You sent it just as we were signing out, so I didn't get a chance to comment on it. But you had put in speech using the commas correctly. Thank you for a great lesson, comma, and within the speech said Amy E. And I thought that's brilliant. So I just wanted to mention that whilst I remembered. Good morning, Carith. Good morning, Livy. Good morning, Chloe D. I am doing well today, thank you. Hope you are as well. Good morning, Harley. Good morning, Jay. We're going to start in just a second. Good morning, Chloe. Lovely. Right. Good morning, Haria. Right, let's get started. So I'm going to start by presenting my screen now. Let's do that. Good morning, Isla. Good morning, Callum W and Cole. Right. So I should be presenting my screen now. Right, I just wanted to take you to this part first, because a couple of you were asking me still how you comment. And I know a lot of you from that have nailed it, but for those that haven't, when you came into the Lee Forest Virtual School and you clicked onto Year 5, it has straight away, the first thing that kind of pops up is this comment here section. Now, I know in the AET lessons that you do with Miss Mosley and Miss Jessen, they have two comment buttons, one for your English and one for your math. But for us, we've just simplified it. You've just got the one. So if you want to speak to me during English, is this button, and it's the same button there if you want to speak to Miss Purcell during maths, okay? So all you do is you click comment here, you pop your name in, Miss F, for example, pop your answer in, you are the best, of course, and then you click submit. And then that should go straight to me. And then if you want to do another response, you just click submit another response if I've asked you a second question. Okay? I've had my comment come up there. There we go. Woo! So let's go back to the live lesson today. Hopefully that helps. Oh, where is it? There we go. Right, so our fourth lesson. Can't quite believe that we've made it to our fourth lesson, but also feels like more, like I said, from all the practice that we've done. For those of you that are new, I've had Maisie. Hello, Maisie. This is a new name. Love it. Aman, good morning. Reese, good morning as well. Lovely. Um, oh, good morning, Arian. Arian, I'm so proud of you. Well done. Double thumbs up for that. Good morning, Kaiden. Super. Right. I shan't digress. Welcome to lesson 4, superstars. So for those of you that are new, which I'm seeing new names, which is epic, giving me too excited, you've got your listening symbol here. So you'll see that on each slide. That means that I'm going to be explaining new content, want you to really tune in and understand it. If you see this icon here, it means the write or comment icon, which means I want you to either submit your answer to me through the online comments, or I want you to do some writing in your green books. Okay, so I hope that all makes sense. Same as usual for the rest of you. Great job. So our learning outcomes today. No, well, it's not moving. There we go. I hope this works because I've done special effects with this today. So if it doesn't work, I'm going to be so upset. Right, we've got two parts as always, our grammar part and our reading part. So our grammar part today, we're going to be focusing on expanded noun phrases, which is great. I feel like a lot of you should do well with this. We're going to revise commas, which is what we did last lesson. And then we're going to go into our reading as well, looking at our finding, retrieval skills, our inference skills, and our explaining skills. So nothing that you shouldn't be too familiar with. It's nice refreshers today, but expanding on that knowledge a little bit more to get you prepared for year 6, okay? Right. So we're going to start off with just a quick revision. So using commas for clarity, so to avoid confusion, to make our sentences clear to the reader, place commas into the sentences below correctly to avoid ambiguity, to avoid that confusion. So number one says, help a burglar. There's a missing comma there. Where should it go? And number two says, the pupil said the teacher was to be put in detention for not doing his homework. Putting a teacher in detention. I think there's a missing comma there too. So could you please comment now with the correct sentences using commas in the correct places? Okay, just give you a couple of minutes for that. Good morning, John Paul. Well done, Amy E. Fastest finger. Usually the case, I have to say, so no shocks there. Coming closely with Isla next. Again, no shocks there. Well done. Both of you absolutely correct. Well done. Also say, because I made a little stickler for this last time, about the lack of capitalisation and full stops just because we were typing. But you two have got it spot on. You put the capital letters and full stops as well as the comma where it should go. So double thumbs up for you two. Well done, Harley. Well done, Danielle. Well done, Libby. Well done, Summer. Good effort, Carl. Your comma's in absolutely correct place. I would say, however, your no. Oh, you put it as speech as well. Nice. I like what you've done there. Super. I'm gonna give it literally 20 more seconds. Well done, John Paul. Last 10 seconds. Can anyone else get in there? Well done, Amy, with the second sentence as well. Well done, Arian. Super. Good job, everybody. Smashing it with the commas today for clarity to avoid that ambiguity. So let's see if this works. Come on, answers. Yes. Two sigh relief. So, as you can see, the second sentence says, help, comma, a burglar. Now, hopefully we can see the difference that just that one piece of punctuation has made to those two sentences. Literally, just inserting that comma has completely changed the meaning of a sentence. The first one says, help a burglar, which suggests help the burglar out, burgling whatever they are, which obviously would be a criminal activity, something that we all want to avoid. Whereas the second one sounds like someone is shouting for help, does it not? Help, and then they're saying why they need help, a burglar. So that comma literally completely changed that. Secondly, the first one says, the pupil said the teacher was to be put in detention for not doing his homework, which says as if the pupil is asking the teacher to go into detention. Quite humorous, where in fact, by inserting the commas between that embedded phrase there, the pupil, said the teacher, was to be put into detention for not doing his homework, makes it sound like now the teacher is asking for the pupil to attend detention. And if we remove that embedded phrase, it reads, the pupil was to be put in detention for not doing his homework, which makes sense. So we knew that that was the embedded clause within that. Okay? So well done. A load of you have got that correct. Let's move on. So that was just a quick revision on our commas. So we're going to move on to our reading first, because remember how awful I was last lesson. I did so long on commas last lesson just to make sure that you really got it because of how complex that piece of punctuation can be, that I didn't do the reading. Naughty me. So we're going to now start with the reading so that we can get that catch up. Okay? So here you've got a text. It's an extract from Harry Potter. In fact, I'm sure, bear with. Here we go. Harry Potter. And it's one of the later ones, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows by J.K. Rowling. Obviously, always a popular choice. This is the book that you actually asked me to buy for Yr5, so it is here. You just haven't had a chance to get access to it yet because of obviously shutdown and lockdown. So read the extract for me. Just going to give you a couple of minutes to do that. And then I'm going to ask you questions based on it, linking to finding, explaining, and inferring. Okay? So make sure you understand it completely. Just going to give you a couple of minutes to read that through. Off you go. Just another minute. Okay, right. I'm just going to read it through for you now. So he opened his eyes and saw that he was lying on a sofa in a familiar lamp-lit sitting room. His rucksack lay on the floor a short distance away, wet and muddy. A fair-haired, I'll just put the pointer so you can see where I'm at. A fair-haired, big-belly man watching Harry anxiously. Hagrid's fine, son, said the man. The wife seemed to him now. How are you feeling? Anything else broken? I've fixed your ribs, your tooth, and your arm. I'm Ted, by the way. Ted Tonks, Dora's father. Harry sat up too quickly. Lights popped in front of his eyes, and he felt sick and giddy. Voldemort. Easy now, said Ted Tonks, placing a hand on Harry's shoulder and pushing him back against the cushions. That was a nasty crash you just had. What happened anyway? Something go wrong with the bike? Arthur Weasley overstretched himself again, him and his muggle contraptions. No, said Harry, as his scar pulsed like an open wound. Death Eaters, loads of them. We were chased. Death Eaters? Said Ted sharply. What do you mean, Death Eaters? I thought they didn't know you were being moved tonight. I thought they knew, said Harry. Ted Tonks looked up at the ceiling as though he could see through it to the sky above. Well, we know our protective charms hold them, don't we? They shouldn't be able to get within 100 yards of this place in any direction. Now that Harry understood why Voldemort had vanished, it had been at the point when the motorbike crossed the barrier of the Order's charms. He had only hoped that they would continue to work. He imagined Voldemort 100 yards above them as they spoke, looking for a way to penetrate what Harry visualized as a great transparent bubble. He swung his legs off the sofa. He needed to see Hagrid with his own eyes before he would believe that he was alive. He had barely stood up, however, when a door opened and Hagrid squeezed through, his face covered in mud and blood, limping a little, but miraculously alive. Okay, so the first question is, who was looking after Hagrid? I'm going to emphasize Hagrid so you don't tell me the wrong name. Who was looking after Hagrid? Good morning, Aaron. Good morning, Lexi. Well done, Caris. Fastest finger in there with the correct answer. Well done, Summer, coming in next. This is the first time I think the first two people have been 5CF members. I'm expecting Amy E and Dyla to come next. Try again, Croydon. Who was looking after Hagrid? Or you fell into my trap, Ari, and check again. Well done, Amy E. Or you fell into my trap as well, John Paul. Try again. Try again, Chloe B. And Abu. Abu Miss Passal was delighted the minute I just said your name there. Okay, gonna go to the answer. So if you look here, it said, Hagrid's fine, son, said the man. The wife's seeing to him now. So it seemed as though Ted was mainly looking after Harry and the wife was mainly looking after Hagrid. So well done to those of you that had said the wife. Good job. Remember, these are that was a finding question, so you've got to make sure you look at the text really carefully if you can. Right, let's see the next one. What injuries did Harry have? Again, this is a skimming and scanning question. It's a retrieval, finding question. The answer is in there. So you've just got to look for it carefully and see if you can give me the right one. And you'll see there that it's a plural. What injuries did Harry have? So I'm definitely looking for more than one. Good morning, Alex. Oh, superstar, Amy. Fastest finger. Well done. And all of it correct. Good job. Well done, Kaiden, as well. Superstar. Good job. You were quick off the mark there, Kaiden and Amy. Gosh. Well done, Summer. Good morning, Solomon. Lovely to see you today. So, Solomon, your task is to find what injuries Harry had. Well done, Caris. Well done, Safi. Well done, Callum W. Well done, Livy. Good. No flies on you guys. All of you get this correct. Well done, Kaiden. Put it in twice, Kaiden, just to make sure you're trying to get double shout outs now. Well done, Chloe D. Right, superstars on fire for this one. Good. Good, it says there. Anything else broken? I fixed your ribs, tooth, and arm. So we can assume from that that he had a broken rib or ribs, broken arm, and a broken or fractured tooth. Pretty severe injuries, none of which I'd like to sustain, that's for sure. Um, let's see, got a bit ahead there. You're going to need what you've just said for one of the next questions. Might even be the next one. Let's see. So, so we know Hagrid's not great, and we know Harry's not great, but how did they get these injuries? What happened? It's going to be fastest finger this time. I mean, like, I feel like it's a free for all at the moment. I keep getting new names coming up, so I don't think I can predict it this time. Well done, Aman, for your previous answer to the last question. Good. Not quite, Summer. There's something more specific there to tell us how they sustain these injuries. Good. You're on the right lines, but what happened when they were on it? Not quite, Caris. Well done, Lexi. Super. Not quite, Amy. Have another check. Hello, Declan. Lovely to see you. It wasn't quite that. Oh, we're all falling into a bit of a trap here with this one. So be careful. I'm just going to give you a clue. It's not because of Death Eaters. If they had been grabbed by those Death Eaters, they would likely not be alive now. Something else had happened to sustain those injuries. Yes, they were chased by them, but they didn't quite catch up with them. Summer. Good correction. Superstar. Close eye. Okay. Got a few people that struggle with that one. So here we go. We had here in Ted Tonks's speech that that was a nasty crash you just had. Had here as well another little clue. Something go wrong with the bike. And then it had here again the mention of motorbike. So we can use those all together to realise that actually they had had a crash on the motorbike, which is what sustained their injuries. Okay, so well done. A few of you have got that. Now, some of you had said, oh, it's because they were chased by Death Eaters. But if you're playing chicken tag in the playground and you're being chased, is that, and you fell, say you fell over and you cut yourself, did you cut yourself because you were chased, or did you cut yourself because you fell over? The chasing isn't really what sustained the injury. It would be the result of it, which would be the crash or the falling over. Okay? That makes a bit more sense to you. Next one. Oh, so this is an explain question. So this is where you have to try and understand, use your knowledge of word meaning. So what is meant by the term contraption? I'm just going to go to the part where it said here, something go wrong with the bike. Arthur Weasley overstretched himself again. Him and his muggle contraptions. What is meant by the term contraption? Hello, Watson. Watson, I don't know if you saw, if you were here at the very start of the lesson. What should I put it? But this is all based off the book that you asked us to get. So it's here, ready for you. Good, Abu. Good, Summer. Good, Amy E. Remember, something is not a word. Something ending in a G is a word. Not quite, Kaiden, but love your contribution today. Absolutely smashing it. Well done, you. Oh, dude, love that. Love what you said. I might have to look at Google and see if you picked that up somewhere because that is phenomenal. Love that. Good effort, Aman. Not quite, my dear. I guess some of these words must feel actually quite alien to you if you're not a Harry Potter fan, such as the word muggle, so I can see where the confusion's coming in. Well done, Gumpel. Just going to give you 20 more seconds so you can get a few more come through. Got a couple with the right answer. Well done. I would say explaining word meaning is one of the hardest things when you're not familiar with the word. Well done, Aryan. Absolutely correct. Okay. Right. So a contraption, as many of you had identified, again, it's linking back to did something go wrong with the bike? Has Arthur Weasley overstretched himself again? Him and his muggle contraption. So we can use the context to know that it's got to do, the contraption's got to do something to do with this bike. So it is, as many of you identified, some type of device or machinery. Now, where the contraption's a little bit different to a device or machine is a device or a gadget could be quite high tech, quite new, quite modern, quite revolutionary. Whereas a contraption is often something that's slightly overcomplicated, that has some element of it being unsafe or quite poorly made, badly made. So it's a bit of a dig there. Ted Tonks is making it off Weasley, saying that he's overstretched himself again. He's made this device that's clearly poorly made and it's quite unsafe, and that's why you've had this crash. But Harry says no, actually that's not why we've had the crash. We've had the crash because we were chased by Death Eaters. So that's what the word contraption means. So if you are inventing something, don't call it a contraption because it'll make people think that it's not being very well constructed. Okay, so call it a device or a gadget or something new and modern. Right, let's move on. Right, this is an inference question, and we have done a lot about impressions. So, what impressions do you get of Ted Tonks? So, we've seen quite a lot of his speech, and I'd say that's where you're going to get most of the impressions about him from what he says and how he's acting. So, what impressions have you got of him? Now, because again, I've used a plural here, not a singular, I'm expecting two adjectives to describe what your first impressions are of Ted Tonks from this extract and why have you got those impressions? Okay, let's see. Oh, that's lovely, Libby. Good. You've used a homophone in yours. You've used the homophone heal, which can mean to heal, as in HEAL, to help someone heal medically from a wound or a medical condition. But also heal as in heal on your foot, which is HEEL. So just check that you're using those homophones correctly in context. Well done, though. Um, well done, AE. Perfect. Nice, Cole. Good. Lovely words there, Abu. Not sure I would agree with them, but I love them. Abby, you've given me some interesting words there. I'm wondering why you think that. Could you just comment why you think he's the words that you described him to be? Lovely, Callum W. Good. Giving me one. Remember, it's impressions. So can you think of something else to describe him as well? So give it 30 more seconds. Okay, right. So we had all this speech that we could have used to give us impressions about Ted Tom. So he's a fair-haired, big-bellied man watching Harry anxiously. So we could have inferred that he's got something to do with he enjoys his food, he's not very athletic, he's not very health conscious, linking to his appearance there. We've got here, I fixed your ribs, your tooth, and your arm. So we've got here where he's caring for someone, isn't he? If he's fixed all those things. And also to fix something, to fix someone's ribs, and to fix someone's tooth, and to fix someone's arm, that might suggest some sort of magical power that Ted Tonks might have. Because to fix them is very different to I've looked at or I've bandaged up or I've operated on is very different to fixing. The idea of fixing suggests that it's completely healed, and how would he heal those injuries in such a short amount of time? So that might suggest that he's got some sort of magical powers there. We also know he's a father, so again might link into that caring nature. And down here, we've got, well, we all know our protective charms hold them, don't we? So he's talking about protective charms. Again, it links to that wizardry about Ted Tonks. And he wasn't shocked to see Harry and Hagrid flying through the sky, landing and crashing down. He wasn't shocked to hear about Voldemort or Death Eaters. So we've got, again, more evidence there to suggest that he is some sort of wizard. So those are good answers that you could have come with, okay? Right. Hope that makes better sense to you all. Right, so next one. This is a retrieval finding question. What is preventing, what is stopping the Death Eaters and Voldemort from attacking? So they tried to attack, something stopped them. What was it? Good morning, Marhad, as well. Good, Lexi, as well. You can argue that Ted Thompson might be some sort of doctor if he's able to fix these injuries. Nice. Might have some medical training, isn't it? I love that. Well done. Good, kind. Amy E, you're on the right lines. There's something more specific to use. Well done, Cole. Super. Hyden and Cole coming in with the first correct answers. Superstars. 5 PP, back on top. Well done, Summer. Abby, why does he vanish? What caused it? That's what we're looking for. Well done, Arian. Well done, John Paul. Lovely detail from you. Well done, Kaiden. Good. Right, lovely. Lovely correct answers there. Well done, everybody. Smashing it. Good. Or protective charms hold them. So many of you did get the idea of a magical charm, a protective charm, something, almost that transparent bubble, keeping them away. That's what we're looking for there. That protective charm kept them from attacking. And again, you're wanting to think if they want to attack, what's the antonym? What's the kind of thing that you're going to do to defend yourself? You're going to protect yourself. So that was quite a nice link in from the word attacked there to kind of help you find it. Oh, good morning, Rihanna. It's okay. Better late than never, my lovely. Okay, right. Now that brings us on to our expanded noun phrase. So our reading is done. We've now got the next 25 minutes looking at expanded noun phrases. Now I feel like this is something you'll be good at. Fingers crossed, because I know a lot of you during the narrative writing want to insert descriptions to make that noun more visual to our readers. Okay, so I just want you to comment first so I can see where our base is. What is an expanded noun phrase? Good, Summer. Adding more description to the noun. Let's see what everyone else has to say. Good job, Summer. Oh, nice, Jay. You give me a very specific example. You've actually told me how we can expand the noun. What you've described is a prepositional phrase used to expand the noun. So well done. You're absolutely correct. That is a type of example we can use. Superstar. Good, AE. Well done, Caris. Good, let's see. Good. Linking it to the use of adjectives as well. Another type of way we can expand the noun. Super. Well done, Isla. Good. Right, a lot of us have many ideas. So let's go to our good old friend, MC Grammar. Now, I haven't heard this grammar song in a little while, but upon hearing it yesterday, I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot I love this one as well. So, I mean, I feel like I just love the whole collection. I might need to just ask them to put it all in the album for me so I can just play it in my car on replay. So I'm just literally loving these tunes. Um, right. Oh, no, don't want to do that. I still want to present my screen, don't I? There we go. Right, just gonna play you the song now. So let me do my little microphone trick that I have to.
You need a noun, mate, and a determiner. Choose one, then link it to your noun. Hey, how do you make a noun phrase? First up, you need a noun, mate, and a determiner. Choose one, then link it to your noun by sticking it in front like the MC, that legend, this song, his methods. Do you get it? What do you reckon? I think that you're ready to step it up a level. Come on, you're the best man, you're ready to expand. When you add an adjective before your noun, blam. You've now made an expanded noun phrase. Here are some examples that you can create. A radical rapper, magnanimous mission, the supersonic one of a kind composition. The smart students and the fierce ambition will catapult them to the top. So listen. Hey, how do you make a noun phrase? First up, you need a noun, mate, and a determiner. Choose one, then link it to your noun by sticking it in front like.
I just love these songs. I can't go in my head as the day goes on. I'm like, hey, how do you make it down phrase? I just love it. Right, let me not digress any further so that we can actually get to our learning. What's all these pop-ups about going? Right, so let's go to the next slide when it's good and ready. Come on, computer. There we go. Right, so expanded noun phrases. So, expanded noun phrase gives more information, more detail than a simple noun phrase would do. Okay, so let's look at a simple noun phrase then. So you've got a teacher. So like it said, how do you make a noun phrase? First up, you need a noun, mate. Well, we've got our noun. We've got our teacher as the noun. Add a determiner. Choose one, then stick it to the front. Okay, so here we go. There's my determiner. I've got a teacher. Okay. Now I want to modify. Modify means to change. I want to change this now from a simple noun phrase to a more expanded noun phrase, giving a bit more information. Now I can do that in different ways. I can do it by first adding a noun to modify it. So I can say it's a math teacher. Okay, so it gives a bit more information about this type of teacher just by adding that noun. Then I can modify it further by adding adjectives. So a helpful, friendly maths teacher. I can modify it further by adding a prepositional phrase. And this is what you were talking about, Jay, which is using that with or a type of preposition like before, after, under, on, all those. So that kind of like connecting word that allows you to expand the sentence on, still linking to the noun. So I've got a determiner, helpful, friendly adjectives, math teacher nouns with a fluffy moustache prepositional phrase. Okay, so it's gone from just a teacher that we knew nothing about to now a teacher that we actually know a little bit more about, and it seems like quite a decent maths teacher with a funny moustache on his face. Great. Okay, so let's just look at that one more time so that you've got a better understanding. So again, how do you make a noun phrase? First up, you need a noun, mate. Got my noun, I've got a house. Okay, add a determiner, choose one. Chose one, I'm still going to stick with a. Okay, so I've got a house. I'm going to modify this now using a noun. So I've got a country house. What can I have had instead? What's maybe an antonym to a country house? Where could the house be? So you can comment first. What other noun can I have chosen? Some lovely responses there from you, Wasim. Well done. Good, Rihanna. We could have used friendly, helpful. Yeah, good, Amy. Fastest finger. Well done. I could have had a city house. Good. So again, a country house, a city house would have given a different context. But either way, it's a noun modifying. Okay, next one. So I can use adjectives now to modify this even further and to expand the noun even further. So I could use a derelict old country house. Lovely words there. So derelict means like abandoned. So it's a nice word instead of saying abandoned. So again, abandoned, I would say empty would I would say would be your in terms of your zone of relevance. I'd say empty would be like your red word, abandoned would be like your yellow word, and derelict would be like your green word. That really nice word to use. So let's see now. And now let's add a prepositional phrase. So a derelict, old country house with boarded and broken windows. So again, A, determiner. Derelict, old, adjectives. Country house, nouns. With boarded and broken windows, prepositional phrase. Okay? Right, got here a ship. So again, first up, you need a noun mate. My noun is ship. Add a determiner, choose one. I've chosen a again, repetitive or what. Now I'm going to add a noun to modify the ship. So what type of ship is it? It is a pirate ship. Anyone else think of a different noun I could have used? You are fastest finger is. Okay, lovely. A few of you putting adjectives in there. Great. Nice. A flagship. Good. Right, lovely. Okay, good. Then I can add adjectives to modify this quite still simple noun phrase because it's still just determiner and nouns. So let's see. An. So I've had to change this to an now because the next word coming up has got the vowel beginning. So an enormous, comma, still using our commas in between adjectives there, an enormous, menacing pirate ship. So now we're getting that idea, that visualization that this ship is huge, menacing, gives that idea that this ship is scary and it contains pirates on it. So we've got more than just what a ship was now. And then let's use our prepositional phrase. So gone slightly different with this one. It's not with anymore, so we've used the preposition on. So an enormous, menacing pirate ship on the still, calm ocean. Okay? So again, determiner, an. Enormous, menacing, noun. Oh, sorry, adjectives. Pirate ship, nouns. On the still calm ocean, prepositional phrase. Okay? So your task now is to change this. So I've just gone through it. I want to picture a different ship. Or if you still want to stick with pirate ship, I don't mind, but I want different adjectives and I want a different prepositional phrase. Okay? So at least the adjectives and at least the prepositional phrase have to change. If you want to keep it as a pirate ship, I don't mind. If you want to change that too, go for it. Okay? Let's see what we get. So Lexi, you started off brilliantly. You've given me determiner, adjectives, noun. Could you add a prepositional phrase onto that as well, just to tip me over the edge of excitement? Magnificent, large, aged ship did what? Good start, Lexi. Oh, good. I would just change your A to An, Amy E. An old, rickety pirate ship crossing the rough ocean. Nice. Nice summer, a gigantic old pirate ship floating on the bumpy blue water. Oh, I love that for many reasons. One, I like the idea of gigantic and old. I love the idea of it floating, which initially made me think it was peaceful, but then it changed. You just switched up to bumpy blue water, and I love the alliteration I got within that bumpy blue. Good. Oh, I've got some more alliteration here from Kaiden. And humongous, heavy, medieval ship. Ooh, on the huge, stormy ocean. Oh, I'll just keep going. Really good. Humongous, heavy, huge, nice, Kaiden. Oh, Lexi. Gosh, guys. Getting emotional. Love it. A magnificent, large, age ship sailing calmly on the crystal clear ocean. Again, alliteration, that crystal clear. Beautiful. Lovely. Right, gonna move on. Spend ages here. Just looking at your sentences. Okay, so here I've got three nouns for you. Bell door and well, I say, yeah, I say nouns, but not loud. So an example, I want you to put those into a sentence. So an example could be the loud, annoying bell above the door. That's a pretty poor one. I purposely gave you a bit of a blah one so that you had enough opportunity to come up with an amazing one that will absolutely put mine in the bin. Okay. So can you use all three of these words, bell, door, and loud, to create an expanded noun phrase? Now you might want to think again, right, determiner. So here my determiner was the. You might want to put adjectives there, nouns, and prepositional phrase. Up to you, or you might want to completely change that about and have something different. Up to you. But my prepositional phrase would have been above the door. Nice, Isla. The bell above the door is very loud. Nice, Summer. The loud bell rang on the big blue door. Lovely. The loud school bell rang and we all lined up at the door. Nice, John Paul. Or nice, Kaiden, I should say. Good. The bell above the door rang loudly. Well done, John Paul. As in the Y onto loud there. Nice. The shining bell was on the bright blue door, or I would say the shining bell on the bright blue door was extremely, I'm going to say loud, because that was the word that we needed there. Well done to Isla, or I should say Amy E. Gosh, you keep putting comments, I keep losing who's saying what now. Good, Karis, the bell above the door annoyingly rang. Good, well done. Nice. Okay, so last task here before we end our lesson. So here I've got another expanded noun phrase. I've got the kind boy with the blonde hair helped his friend carry the books. So I've got the determiner, kind adjective, boy noun, with the blonde hair, prepositional phrase, helped verb, his friend to carry the books. Okay, so extra information there, which is nice. So your task is to pick one of these pictures. So you've got the boy here drawing a picture. You've got the cyclist here looking like he's maybe coming first. And you've got maybe what a Viking or a Roman here that's trying to protect his castle from maybe intruders coming on the shore. So pick just one picture and can you write an expanded noun phrase about that image? Okay, just a couple of minutes for that. Again, don't forget you've got the one above to help you. Lovely summer. The boy in the red t-shirt was painting, or yeah, was painting a beautiful picture. Lovely, good. So I've got here Amy E. The talented young boy drew a beautiful picture. Didn't need the ed there, just need the drew. You've got obviously, with your past tense, some of them are regular, you just put the ed on it, and some of them are irregular. Drew's an irregular one. So draw becomes drew, not draw becomes drawed. Nice, Kaiden. The brave Roman soldier shot arrows at the intruders to save his friends' lives. Lovely. Well done. I would say to up level that, Kaiden, you could have actually described the arrows. So the brave Roman soldier shot what? Sharp arrows at the intruders. You could have described the intruders there with an adjectives as well. Shot the fierce intruders to save his friends' lives. So okay, we can always up level our sentences, can't we? Um, nice. Isla, the strong Viking with a bow and arrow was protecting his castle from the enemy. Good, Lexi. The proud young man with the blue helmet on crossed the finish line in celebration. Oh, Lexi. Fire. Good. Oh, nice, John Paul. The young boy painted a lovely picture while he was on holiday. Nice, Arian. The brave, bold Roman protects his golden porch. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Right, really good. Right, that's going to draw us to a close. So, as always, we're going to go into a quick break. Be ready for math at 11:15 with Miss Pessel. And then go to, after lunch, go to Doodle to complete both your English and your math task, which has already been assigned to you. Okay? Just one thing, if I have a quick time just to maybe delve into it. Gonna borrow Danielle's log on if I can. Hopefully you can still see my screen. So bear with me. Gonna go to Google Classroom. Let me. Loading, loading, loading. Come on. I'll pick the game just in case. Oh, was it there? There we go. Google Classroom, sign in. Going to come out of me, going to sign in as Danielle. Hope you don't mind, Danielle. She's probably like, what is going on? Okay, don't worry. Right, let's see if this is, no, this is still me signing in. Don't want that, we want Danielle signing in. I'm going to sign me out.